As a reporter for the Chicago Daily Defender, and as a black woman married to a black man, I've become deeply aware of the effects of this new black revolution on the relationship between black man and black woman. I see it among my own friends, and I also see it in my home. But the most revealing and the most vocal statements about what the new black man expects from the new black woman came when I met with a group of young unmarried friends.
Real quick, for any of y'all that's not used to me making longer videos, this is definitely going to be a longer video. Okay, so just sit tight.
Saturday afternoon.
I think that what's happening in America as far as black men, black women is concerned is that there's a revolution within a revolution. We are fighting our own woman. Our woman will not allow us to emerge as black men. No. But our black women, who has been put in this role of aiding white America, white structure, and castrating the black male, has continued doing this. She cannot live with us. It's not that we can't live with her.
Are you blaming us? Are you saying that it's our fault?
And mind you, this same issue that they're bringing up now, where back then in 1968, because this was filmed in 1968, is still happening to this day. It is 2025. This shit has been happening for 57 years, still ongoing, okay, from the basis of this video.
Did this happen?
No, I'm not blaming black America women. I just said that I'm blaming the system. They are victims of the system like the black male.
Well, why do you say that we are castrating you? You say that you want to be the leaders. Okay, well, what about the black professional woman? Are you saying that there should be no black professional woman? Are you trying to deny black women the right to be creative, the right to function?
We're not asking.
And this is the same thing they say today. A lot of women say, well, when we have women in some of these leadership positions, are we saying that they shouldn't be leaders in those positions? Men are not saying that shit. They're basically saying when you're in a relationship, play your role. Okay, be supportive for me and I'll be supportive for you. Don't fight me. Come together with me as a collective unit. Okay, but welcome to the DeMarkco effect where you get the full effect of me.
For you to take a back seat. We're saying that you have got to be astute enough and can view the situation well enough where you just automatically know what your role is and step back. And whenever you want to have that aggressive thing, this is the thing that the young black man today is not going to tolerate. My old man tolerated it because his old man tolerated it. It came up for years and years and years. But today, the young black man is not going to take it. He's going to be out there as the leader.
White America.
Same thing. And black people, y'all have to realize how powerful you are and how powerful we are. We are so powerful that they did shit to break up the black family. Okay, so remember that shit and keep it in the back of your head whenever y'all talk shit about each other, okay?
America has used black women to keep the black male in his place. And you're still aiding them by saying, well, we are qualified, we want to work, we can help.
Okay, how are you going to reprogram men so that they don't let us take over what's supposed to be their responsibility? And men that I have had dealings with, they are perfectly willing to sit back and let us do anything we want to.
See, and this is where she's wrong. Right? She's asking a question, but she's also giving an answer. Okay? You don't reprogram the men. If we're not the problem and men are not the problem, we're talking about in a black family, black dynamics, right? The dynamics of a black family. The men are not the problem. It's the woman, right? So who are you going to go to tell the person or that they need to do better? It's going to be the woman. Because they've changed. They fucked things up. And let's be real, right? If a man tries to go and forcefully get what he wants from this woman, it does not fucking work. It cannot work. You cannot force a woman to do something. Okay? So when we're talking about shit like this is conversations they was having back then and nothing's changed. It's just gotten worse. Because her question is, well, since as women we're going to do what we want to do, basically, the men, shouldn't they be adjusting to us to basically take back what they want? No, that's not how you do it.
I don't think that you have to reprogram men. I think you have to reprogram women.
No, you have to reprogram the man so that he will forcefully take what belongs to him, because you know women, as long as we can get, we're going to get, and it's part of our being. We're going to do anything to you that you let us, whether we want to or not.
You don't want to live on the level of income that I can afford you in love. Me, on the basis of that, you want to always be aspiring to have all those things that's a part of the great middle-class white American society, and because I can't deliver these things to you, you say that you are not a man.
I don't measure a man by how much money he can bring home. I measure a man by how he treats me. Whether when I'm tired and I'm sick and I'm scared, he's there.
For these women, the men are there. But with the feeling of racial pride has come new conflict.
See, and this, like I said, it's the same shit that's happening today. She said, as a woman, if you know we will take, and we will get, right? So, basically, what started to happen back then is the same thing that we see now, right? It's going to be men that's going to play a specific role to get pussy, to get vagina, right? Because they know if they go against it, they're not going to get it, right? And at the end of the day, a lot of the times, guys, they want companionship, but they just want some vagina to dive into every now and then. Okay, so this is the same problems it's the same thing that's going on today.
And new problems. Across America, they meet to discuss what Black awareness means to their families and to them as Black women of today.
You know, there have been a lot of myths created about the Black family. We all recognize that. And one of the most pernicious myths is the myth of the Black matriarch.
It was not like
the Black woman has not been a matriarch in the sense that it has been defined thus far. And thank God research, and I hope Black research, is being done now to reverse that kind of thing. In fact, the Black woman has been a woman at the head of a household, not by choice, but by necessity. And more often, that's right, and more often than not, she is not a strong, matriarchal, aggressive, domineering figure. She is a woman in search of a man. But this story has not been told.
The prejudiced society created what we have now. So that's what we were. Okay, we have a revolution.
Yeah, and the effect of that also, like when you actually think about it, it's going to cause the next generations of women to be aggressive, right? So if you have this Black woman that basically is now the head of the household, right, per se. So she's going to raise her daughters with the same mindset, right? So she's raising her daughters to be the head of the household, to be independent, that you don't need a man and all of this stuff. So the same thing continues to happen, and it's the same cycle. So when we look back at this interview from 1968, it sounds like the same shit today, right? With the way that they're thinking. Oh, we're professional leaders, so what do you say about that? You know, and why shouldn't men adjust to who we are as women, right? But when you think about, like, who they are as women today, it's not who they are supposed to be as women. Right, when we look at a group of people, when we look at Hispanic, or Mexicans, or white people, right, or Indian people, you know, any other people, Chinese people, right, they're all together with their stuff. You know who's not? Black people, right? You know why it's hard for Black people to become together, right? It's because our women are also, and not all of them, right, but a lot of our women are not there in a sense of togetherness, and they want to do with another Black man. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic changes. So then these Black guys, they have this mindset of fuck Black women. I don't give a fuck about a Black woman. I'm not having a kid with a Black woman. I'm only sleeping with a Black woman. Black women are this, Black women are that. So you have that, and then you have the Black women on the other hand saying, Black, you know, man ain't shit, man ain't this, I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need a nigga for shit, and that's how they talk, right? So everything is fucked up. You don't hear Hispanic people saying Mexican women ain't shit, I ain't having to kill the Mexican woman, I'm marrying the Mexican woman. You don't hear that shit. So things have to get better, and we do have to start with our women, right? They have to have more of an I'm going to allow this man to be, because men say this shit all the time. They say, if you have to allow a woman to allow you to lead and you're weak, no, it's not the fucking case. if you have to allow a woman to lead you, then you're weak. If you have to allow a woman to let you lead, then you're weak. That's not true. Not at all.
Going on. Well, what kind of the revolution?
We're in an evolution. I think the revolution is yet to come.
Yeah, it's the
Well, this thing
we
will
keep
say.
tossing the word revolution around lightly.
It's extremely important for black history and culture to be transmitted from generation to generation. And the best way, the most effective way that this has always been done is through the family, acting as the primary unit of social organization. And I think one reason why it has not been done with black people is because of the destruction done to our family life. So this certainly has to be one function of the black marriage, to begin to reemphasize and to pick up the thread of Afro-American history and culture that has been left off generations ago when Africans were sold into slavery, when the family unit was purposely destroyed.
Most middle-class homes, quote middle-class homes, like I don't even get caught up in that bag, you go into will have some copy of anybody, any white artist, I don't even have to name anybody, instead of the works of black artists. I think it starts, especially that identity part, the books, the kinds of books. All of these things start in the home rather than complaining about them being in the schools at this point.
Unless we're absolutely certain of how that teacher is handling them, then we may have to assume that whole responsibility. We may have to pull them out of school ourselves, and do all the educating ourselves.
Say, for instance, when they say to my child to draw, last year Rhonda painted Abraham Lincoln brown and she was put in the corner, We had to go up to the school and deal with that. They must be respectable to their peers in school. And what we do, we handle that. We don't say, you jump up, you curse that teacher out, or you say it doesn't exist. But they see us at that school knocking on the door. You have to be in there. Either we're going to control, their minds here, or at least give them the choice.
A lot of...
Yeah, I know, right. This is the part that we as people have to understand too. People can always say shit like, as a black person, we don't see color, we don't see green, we don't see you as a different color, we just see you as a person. People always hit you with that, especially as a black person, right? But part of becoming better is also acknowledging the history and things that happened for black people back then. Right, so part of that is understanding that black people has been set back. Right, I'll give you an example. If I took a kid, right, and if I took a white kid back in the day, and I took let's take color out of it. If I took a kid that grew up with parents, right, that didn't have no remarks of slavery and everything like that, and they was in school, right, and I took one kid that was, right, so one that was and one that wasn't, right, and I put them both in the same school at the same exact time, right, one kid is going to be much more advanced than another kid, just based off how they came up and where they're from, right, in their family. So when we understand that, we have to understand that, from our history, and for black people just basically being who they are and coming from where they came from, we have to understand that the mindset that you see from our women today is also from that same mindset, right? But they just took it a step further because the government was like, we see that these people can thrive and we see what they can do, and that's a threat to our to our country at the time, right? So you will see certain stuff like this. And now, like I said, dating back to my example, which from another video, if a woman has grew up with a mom and only a mom, and she's seen no dad, because if she had a dad, then they weren't getting food stamps or they weren't on Section 8 or anything like that, then the daughter would have seen a dad, right? But in order to have food stamps and Section 8 to think you're living a better life and easier life, there cannot be another man involved in that picture because his income is going to basically overlap and make y'all make more money as a household. Okay? So overall in this video, what I want y'all to take is things has not changed. People and black people have been having, black men has been having these same problems with black women for 60 years, 70 years. Based off of this video, it's been 57 years to be exact. But been having these same exact problems. And I don't know a solution, but I will tell y'all, continue to work on yourselves and don't try to save these girls. Just let them be. Okay, but other than that, make sure to leave a like down below. Make sure to comment. If you just subscribed, I love you. If you're already subscribed, I love you already. But other than that, have a good evening, good day, good night, good morning, wherever you at, and I'll see y'all. Peace out.